Hi guys, Kissy Bug here. Today I want to talk about domestic abuse and financial abuse. When we think domestic violence, financial abuse is not one of the things we tend to think about or associate with domestic abuse. But it plays a huge role in families and relationships, more than we tend to think about. Money is essential to pay bills, buy food, and essentially for our survival. In abusive relationships, it is a tactic for the abuser to control money. They don't want their victim to leave, and so if the victim tries to leave and escape the abuse, the abuser holds the key to freedom: money. Now, I do want to stress the importance to anyone going through a domestic abuse situation to not worry about the money. There are shelters and resources out there for you and your children if you have any. However, I also want to stress that you contact the local domestic violence center and set up an escape plan if you are planning on leaving. This is huge and very vital to staying safe and keeping your children safe as well. Also, make sure to try and take your pets with you. If you can't, please see if a family member or friend can keep your pets, and also inquire when you speak to a domestic violence center about a safe haven for your pets. Please, 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 don't leave your pets behind if you can help it. Now back to the financial abuse. An abuser makes sure, in most cases, that they control the money coming into and going out of the household. Have you ever asked your spouse, partner, or significant other for permission to spend money on something? If you have, why do you think you have? In most cases, it's because you have been conditioned to how your spouse or partner runs the show. You may not realize it. You may think in the beginning that you're doing things to share equal responsibility in the relationship. But see, abusers have an agenda, and things happen so suddenly. Even things like this should be a red flag, or often missed, as we aim to make our relationships good ones. Just like with the emotional, physical, and even spiritual abuse, the changes are subtle. You won't notice the changes right away. The changes continue to build up until you find yourself in a dire situation. So what does financial abuse look like in a domestic abuse situation? Well, I covered one of the first things. They want to control all the money that comes in and out of the home, and of course require permission for you to spend the money. But there are more signs of abuse, such as monitoring their victim's spending, including violating their victim's privacy, by looking at their victim's bank statements, PIN numbers, and emails, and refusing the victim access to their bank or credit cards, and even at times going as far as to blocking access to the victim for going to work or sabotaging your job, and refusing access to the victim using the car or anything that the victim hasn't paid for. Victims who want to leave and escape may feel like if they do, they will be homeless and be impoverished. Again, help is out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't replace your life if it's taken because you didn't leave. Please remember your life is more valuable than anything, and so are your children and your pets' lives. Abusers often will spend a victim's money, and of course there's an episode where the old man spent the mother's money when she left for New York, and he did so with no remorse and definitely without her knowledge. And it was funny to him, and he and the mastermind made her look stupid. Abusers often damage things and property and make the victim replace the items. Again, the old man did this all the time too. Abusers can also isolate a victim from outside resources or force their victim to go to work while they collect all the victim's earnings. Now, I'm not sure if the old man forced the mom to work or not, but the fact is that she did, and he was always eager to get his hands on the money. God forbid she spent any money on herself or something she may have wanted and rightfully earned the money for. Another form of financial abuse is forcing a victim to put any loans in their own name and not the abuser's. They also use money to ensure that the partners can't get an education, do activities that they don't like, or be able to leave the relationship safely. Now that you know the signs, here's what you can do. If you need to get out, domestic violence charities recommend that if you can and it's safe, you try to gather as much ID and financial data as you can, including credit card statements and any documentation proving who owns what. If that's not possible or not safe, take the originals and make copies and write down account numbers. Most definitely, if you have a joint account, or even if you don't, get a new bank account in your own name. Do not use PINs that your abuser would know or guess. Make sure to change the password to your bank account. This is highly important. Find out how much your abuser earns, including salary, bonuses, money they get from any rental properties, or other sources of income. Find out how much money is in all accounts, savings, checkings, investments, retirement accounts, and how much money is owed on credit cards, the mortgage, car, and etc. Also, remember when leaving that you not only need this important information on your finances, but all vital and important documentation such as birth certificates, shop records for your children, marriage certificates, and ownership documents for shared assets. It is also important to set up a budget so that you will be prepared to live on your own again. The budget should outline cost of housing, food, and other expenses. I would recommend that you don't do this research in your home where your abuser would have access to it. You can go to a family member's, friend, or a local library to do this. When you do, please use the incognito mode on your phone or personal computer to avoid alerting your abuser. Economic abuse is present in 98% of all abusive relationships. It is more common than we think. Alright guys, I hope this helps anyone going through something like this, or if you know someone who is. I love you all so much. Thank you for your love and support. I will talk to you all later. Bye!